Episode 3 of Interview with the Vampire. Is my very nature that of a devil? Okay, thinking about this episode, let me get my head wrapped around it so I can kind of remember because I watched it last night and some things I kind of forget. This episode, God, whew, whew, whew. I'm thinking about the show. The show is good, but when I think about the material that is coming from all of this civil rights stuff is kind of off to me. And this coming from a African American man who's dealt with a lot of stuff in his life. Um, this episode it dealt with how they were trying to they shut Louis' business down, the lights and stuff off, because it was a time where it was the time when they started to have only white businesses and for only colored people and stuff like that. And the alderman, I believe, no, he was on the council. He shut let them shut Louis' lights off on his brothel, and there was a lot of insulting going on because across the street the businesses were open. They said white only, and Louis said how a white man who had a poor rundown business, his light was still on, and all of that jit jat. It was had a bunch of civil rights stuff going on, and that's kind of more of the problem I see with this. Uh, More of the show. I feel like maybe when they push it on to the future, that will go away slowly, but probably not because they do have a African American character in a point in time where it was very wrong to be an African American. But it was that's my thoughts about that. But this was a great episode nonetheless. But I feel like that part is just a lot. But we dealt with Louis going back to his family and trying to give his twin nieces a birthday present because it was their birthday, and um his family was trying to, well, his mom was trying to run him away, and his brother-in-law was trying to calm him down, and he got angry and he kicked the door fly. Okay, he kicked the door, and then his mother told them, I told you, the devil lives within him. It's like she knew that something was off about him, knew that he was the devil, I guess. Um, so it was kind of sad for me to see how his family had turned against him for something he couldn't control. Well, he could control it. I guess he could control some of it and not all of it. Um, and that was the most memorable part of the episode to me. I love seeing him dealing with his family and all of that. But come to the other part with all the civil rights stuff. Um, the man, I guess this the one in the first episode where she got, no, the woman bust him side the head with the glass. Okay, it's that same man. Um, he is on the city council or something like that, and he was blaming everything on the war that was going on. I think the World War I. I'm pretty sure that that's it. And is it World War I or is it World War II? Because it got me thinking. He said President Wilson. I think it's Woodrow Wilson. I'm pretty sure. Hold on. I'm pretty sure that Woodrow Wilson is. Hmm. Okay, he was the president during World War I. Okay. So they they're talking about the war that's going on and how it is affecting everything that's going on around it, even the businesses. He's saying that everyone is suffering, but more so Louis is the one suffering more so. And he even offered to buy Louis' business for 15 cents on a dollar. And I'm just saying to myself, throughout this episode, you see the hardship that Louis is facing because of him being, an African American. And the man also said in his head that Louis thinks his Creole heritage will be so big for him. Okay. And eventually Louis got mad because the way he was treating Louis, and Louis dismembered him and hung him up on his gate of his house. Hung him up on the gate of his house. And that ensued a riot where I guess white people started to tear up all the black businesses, and Louis' business even got um, Molotov cocktailed, and they burned his business to the ground. And at the end, he heard a screaming girl, and he ran in and saved her, which we find out that is Claudia. Okay, this episode was pretty good. All of that tend to makes me feel some type of way, everything that's civil right and everything. But I can tell the next episode gonna be good. And then Louis also got a visit from someone from his past. Um, Someone that has been, he said that he experimented with. And the guy joined the army to get away from all the discrimination that they were getting. But I'm not gonna go on too much longer because my mind is getting joggled up by everything in this episode. But it was a pretty good episode. Um, yeah, I'm just waiting until they push forward to a point where all of the civil stuff, all of the racistness bears down a little bit. We wouldn't have to deal with this much if they had went more on the source material, went more with the source material. But the show is good. It's just some of the stuff that goes on. I don't usually like watching TV shows that deal with a lot of issues like that. And it is something new for me, and that part I would rather stay out of. But my score from 1 to 10, I would give it an 8. You know, the the civil rights stuff and the racism and everything, it doesn't make it a bad. It didn't make the episode bad for me. It's just something I would not like to see myself, preferably, but it was still an episode. a great episode. So 8 out of 10. Yeah. And I'll see you in the next one. I can tell the next one's gonna be pretty good.